are less than 2 days away from election day, and the Trump campaign has already announced their first official lawsuit to challenge the election. Even though the voting isn't over, we haven't even hit election day, and of course, we haven't even started counting the votes yet. But as per usual, the Trump campaign says, you know what, screw it, there's no need to wait. Let's just go ahead and file a frivolous lawsuit saying that this election is rigged against us and is unfair. And this lawsuit just happened to conveniently be filed in the swing state of Pennsylvania, which is starting to be regarded as probably the biggest prize out of all the available swing states. Whichever candidate wins the state of Pennsylvania has a very good chance of winning the presidential election. So obviously, this is going to be the state where Donald Trump chose to file his first lawsuit. The lawsuit, of course, is based on absolutely zero evidence other than people whining on Twitter. The lawsuit claims that in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, Trump supporters, and only Trump supporters, by the way, were told that you can't vote. The posts, as I mentioned, that were made on social media, where Twitter, Facebook, etc., don't even say that they were denied the right to vote. It just says that they had to wait long hours, many hours in line to receive their mail-in ballot. That's right. They had to wait to get their mail-in ballot, and that's what they were being pissy about. So Trump decided to say, hey, screw it. Let's file a lawsuit for this one, shall we? Of course, they're not going to win this lawsuit because there's no evidence to back up their claims, just like there were no evidence to back up their claims back in 2020 when Trump threw a bunch of frivolous lawsuits at the court systems. And just like with those lawyers back in 2020, I hope all of the lawyers who signed on to this lawsuit or signed on to the other lawsuits we all know he's going to eventually file, I hope you know that your life is, pardon my language, your life is fucked. You do realize this, right? What happened to all those other lawyers who signed on to Donald J. Trump? How are they doing? Let's see. Rudy Giuliani right now, what's he up to? Oh, he just forfeited every single one of his assets this week for lying about election workers. Sidney Powell, remember her? The Release the Kraken lady? Yeah, how's her criminal charges going? Yeah, they're not going well. What happened to Kenny Cheesebro, huh? Yeah, right, exactly. What happened to John Eastman? Yeah, screwed, isn't he? What happened to Jenna Ellis, Y'all think signing these lawsuits, file them on behalf of Donald Trump is somehow going to help your career? In case if you haven't noticed, anybody who attaches themselves to Donald J. Trump, their lives get ruined forever. It's going to quite possibly kill you. You could lose your law license and your livelihood by doing this. We've seen it with these lawyers I just mentioned. And this is just the start. This is such a frivolous lawsuit, much like the lawsuits back in 2020. Election results. Somebody's going to get sanctioned here. And I have no doubt somebody definitely will get sanctioned. And here's the thing. The court doesn't need to wait to do that. They don't need to. In fact, tomorrow morning, I'm recording this Sunday evening. So tomorrow morning, Monday, they need to sanction these lawyers today. Because if you start with these sanctions immediately for filing these knowingly fictitious lawsuits, it may be enough to prevent at least some lawyers from helping Donald J. Trump in the future. Because they're the ones who are going to pay the price. He's not going to pay the price. This has been Trump's long track record throughout his whole life. He throws other people under the bus, and they will always take the blame for him. The lawyers will, and they need to understand that. And those sanctions need to come fast and furious before we hit Tuesday. But this is just one. This will not be the last one. Hell, they could already be filing lawsuits right now as I'm speaking to you, recording this video. There will be more of these, and I promise you, just like with 2020 elections, the lawyers that file them are not going to have a very happy ending. And most certainly will not have a good holidays when the Christmas comes around later this year.